Career began on TikTok in 2021, making dry sarcastic content on the topic of being a mother. She'd make only 26 videos before beginning the Really Good podcast, to which she'd adapt her dry sarcastic style.
I think we look alike.
Kind of, but not really.
A little. You're like me in a different font.
The snippet quickly racked up almost 10 million views.
Wow.
The style was an instant success. This entire interview is like the calmest argument in history, and I love it. The snippets from her next episode went equally viral.
The clips did really, really well on TikTok. So I was like, okay, I guess I have something here.
But it was the episode with Funny Marco that completely changed everything. Because not only did the segments again pull crazy numbers, but the full episode gained over 5 million views without a single hate comment anywhere in sight. It's rare that two people I've never heard of make me laugh for an hour straight. This was special. This is hilarious. Marco has found the white woman version of himself. This should be a permanent duo. This is just the most cross-cultural, funny, awkward humor. People loved the honest branding of new episode whenever I can get someone to agree to let me interview them, the next of which being a very important person.
My video with Marco went very viral.
Yeah.
Very viral. Then Drake liked one of the videos I had uploaded.
For me, and probably mostly other people, she just literally came out of nowhere, okay? I just scrolled one day on social media and there she was with Drake. And I was like, where does this girl come from? But I wasn't thinking too much of it because it is a lot of people that basically blow up, and I just now, are noticing them or see them on my timeline when they blow up that big. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not thinking anything of it. But a whole lot of people was like, bro, where did this girl come from? And she's an industry plant because she just came out of the blue and all that kind of stuff. But now I'm seeing her evolution. She actually blew up off of TikTok first, and then she went over to YouTube with Funny Marco. And that's how she got her big blow up,
Bobbi therefore tried to get him on.
I'm gonna shoot my shot to Drake. So I was like, when are you gonna come on my podcast?
And he just was
He said,
game
yeah,
right away.
he was ready to do it.
Landing Drake as her 4th ever podcast guest. From an entertainment standpoint, the episode was basically perfect. Not only had she landed Drake, who never does podcasts, but she'd done so in a funny, intimate setting, whilst keeping it calm and relaxed, to the extent that people thought they were just old friends.
The fact that you were so calm next to Champagne Poppy, because if I was in a bed next to Drake, I would be freaking out.
It therefore gained 10 million views in only 2 weeks, and added 700,000 subscribers to Bobbi's total count. However, as summarized by a tweet reading, Drake giveth and Drake taketh away, Bobbi's interview with Drake began to ruin her reputation. During the podcast, Bobbi had asked,
Am I your type?
I'd do it.
Thank you.
and when Drake said that Bobbi should get with his friend, she seemed kind of interested.
If I could hook you up with anyone, it would be my dog Smigs.
Smigs?
Smigs. Smiley.
Can you tell me about Smiley?
Let me show you a picture of him.
Is he well known, or are you just a friend of yours?
The Funny Marco interview had a similar interaction,
Are you hitting on me?
You're not my type.
What's your type?
with Bobbi stating she started the podcast for the following reason.
To have a way to meet people, and the podcast, I was like, I wish I could have collaborate with other people.
Meeting new people likely wasn't sinister, but flirting with famous musicians seemed to annoy her husband, who filed for divorce only 6 days after she recorded the podcast with Drake. To make matters worse, Bobbi also admitted,
I flew all the way here
You did. I really do appreciate
on my
that.
daughter's first birthday
You missed your daughter's first birthday for
to be here.
Regret that you'll never be able to undo.
Yeah.
Horrible parenting.
showing she was kind of ditching her family for social media fame.
Is it kind of strange to anyone else that this woman who is married with children is constantly asking during these interviews with these rappers if basically they would go out with her, if basically they would sleep with her if they like her?
She'd confirmed the divorce in a TikTok post, with comments stating celebrity status always ruins the best things in life. On Reddit, people stated, she got famous and he stayed the same. Few marriages survived that, whilst the rumor rumors likely didn't help. Did Bobbi Althoff cheat with Drake quickly became a mainstream narrative. Suggesting a conspiracy was when Bobbi deleted the podcast, with Drake and Bobbi both unfollowing each other on Instagram. Dave Portnoy from Barstool Sports therefore sent her a text. "My girlfriend says you hooked up with Drake and got divorced. I am saying that is not true." Bobbi replied, "I'm not commenting publicly, but off the record, you're right, that is not true." She'd shared the text to her story, adding, "I did not want to do this podcast in the first place, and now so much negativity is coming from it. I'm going to leave it alone after this, but this is the uncensored DM between Dave and I, although despite denying the rumors, the narrative was set." Bobbi Althoff left her husband to thot around with rappers.
As a content creator, I understand what she was doing. Not everything is meant to take literally, you know? When she's asking this question, she's asking it with everybody that she interviews. So it's kind of like, I guess she thinks that it would be funny. It's commentary, whatever. You get what I'm saying? I don't think she really thinks that she has a shot with these people. I think that it's just meant to, you know, it's commentary. It's just some shit to ask, you know? I mean, the interview is not really a serious interview if you really look at it. So it's not really something to take serious. So if she's asking that question, I think she automatically think, yo, this is not really a serious interview. I'm just fucking around. So if I ask this question, it shouldn't really be taken literally. But when it comes to social media, they're fickle. They're really, really fickle. And if you blow up and you do the slightest thing that is probably not even that deep, they can make it into something big. Because for some odd reason, when the people start getting a lot of attention, people start on social media start turning on them. And that's why you have to have tough skin, because this internet shit is fickle as fuck. It's fickle as fuck. All you gotta do is just keep doing what you're doing. Haters gonna hate. People are gonna talk. It is what it is. But you still have people that are going to support you. And I think you need to put your energy into people that are supporting you. You get what I'm saying? So,
Would you date someone that looks like me? Because there's just a person
What does that mean?
like looks exactly like me. They have a twin.
Maybe.
If I had a twin,
Maybe.
would you date them?
If she was like cool and like, you know.
The damage this did to Bobbi's image could be seen on her husband's Instagram, with comments reading, "Sorry that your ex sold you out for clout and fame," after which everything Bobbi did became some kind of drama. For example, she'd do a podcast with Lil Yachty, with people calling her ungrateful after she said this.
I walked into his house and it
kinda
was
like
super awkward because like
those, though.
he's really kind of awkward. He didn't even like say hi to me. He's just sitting there with like his two assistants, and then he comes up, he's like, "Oh, hi," gives me like a half hug, and I'm just like, "Hi," then goes back to his spot, and I'm like, dude, I don't even want to do this. I'm texting my friend like, "Ashley, I need to leave. This is so awkward. I don't want it. Like, what am I doing here?"
She wants to make awkward content and then puts Yachty on blast,
Yeah, that was
shaking my head. Gave her a platform and now she's shitting on y'all. See what happens? People then claimed that her fast rise to fame was orchestrated by her management company,
I'm pretty sure somebody at WME started help pulling the strings to set all this in motion.
who also
yes,
managed
right.
some of the people who appeared on Bobbi's show.
Well, you got a great agent, and you got a great agency, and you got great guests.
Bobbi simply trolled the claims, but there were other inconsistencies. For example, she constantly claimed that she was broke
People think I'm joking about being in debt. I'm not. Like, I put every penny I had into this podcast.
and told Mark Cuban this.
I don't have any money
None?
at all. I have debt, actually.
You have debt? How much debt do you have?
Like $20,000 of debt.
Then further added in her Rick Glassman podcast.
Every time a credit card maxes out, I have
An
to
angel
switch
gets
to
his
another.
wings.
I have like 2 cards maxed out right now, so hoping to pay them off soon.
However, people realized she spent $500 on Chloe sandals. She is not broke, she is broken. Also noting that her husband was a millionaire who had 170,000 students who'd bought his $43 course. Eventually, Bobbi also revealed that the podcast wasn't serious.
So when you interview these people, you're not Bobbi necessarily.
No, yeah, I'm just like a really dry person.
Deleting more of the magic that first made her interesting. We mentioned that when she first interviewed Marco, there were no negative comments. However, 3 months later when Reddit asked thoughts on Bobbi Althoff, there wasn't a single positive comment. Annoying ASF and not funny at all. I can't stand her, don't find her funny, and find it odd that rappers are always her target to pick on like she's better than them. Gives me the ick. I watched a few of her interviews. I just don't don't find her funny or charismatic enough to pull off the shtick. I can see why she's popular though. This kind of awkward cringe humor is having a moment. Only 4 days after that Reddit thread, it was reviewed as the not so really good podcast, which stated the content itself is boring. The episodes also lack direction and a central theme, probably because they only consist of small talk. The podcast fails to deliver anything substantial or thought-provoking. Instead, it provides a glimpse into how celebrities behave in casual settings, which may seem intriguing to some, but ultimately failed to engage me. Another person said that Bobbi's podcast sadly points out how real hip-hop journalism has been practically erased, while even Funny Marco began to critique her show.
With me, it was like, I think you're funny, Marco, but let me learn about you. Like, trying to figure me out. But now it's like the interviews, I think they're like, she's trying to shit on people. And when I watched the interview with Offset, I was like, damn, that was pretty bad.
As mentioned, she was plain disrespectful during her podcast with Offset, leading him to respond with similar energy.
You need a little bit of seasoning. You ain't got no seasoning, man. You like a plain piece of chicken, just on the thing, you pull it off, and then you serve the dish.
It seemed this was where many people quit watching Bobbi's show, aided by full podcast episodes that were just promoting products. In the process, she'd also change her appearance, leading to criticism bad enough for Bobbi to respond.
I am so tired of all of the comments of people saying she ruined her face. The only thing I have done to my face is that I have a little bit of filler in my upper lip. Okay? I do not have cheek filler.
In a different video, she talked about getting other procedures.
I went in to get my zit injected and I left with Botox in my forehead, which, you know, that's fine, that's normal. I had lines here. I also didn't like that this would crease so much and I'd smile, so I got under eye filler. So I got Botox injected right here.
Which, perhaps unfairly, has only led to even more hate. Her 15 minutes are up. Bye, Bobbi. I am so tired of Bobbi. Get off the internet, boring. The last couple of months, however, have been even worse. For starters, the style of the podcast has changed. The dry, sarcastic humor has become normal conversation, and all the awkward, quiet moments are often removed in editing. Strangely, however, this only makes it even more awkward and less entertaining, as it feels like any other normal podcast.
How old are you?
Me, I'm 21.
You're 21?
Yeah.
Oh, you're so young.
I'm a baby still.
Wait, I didn't realize you were so young. I thought we were the same age. Now I feel really old.
How old are you?
I'm 26.
You're not really old.
This entire interview feels like they are making small talk while waiting for something. She'd also do an episode with Dax Flame in which she was way ruder than any other podcast.
What is something fun that makes interviewing someone fun for you?
Just having good conversation.
Okay, yeah, I love good conversation.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't tell.
This genuinely was not even an interview. This was like bullying the nice kid and making him feel horrible in any way. Then 2 months ago, she did this video here, which, judging by the dislike ratio, was yet another doozy.
And then I saw this video of a girl talking about how much she made from her podcast, and I mentally decided that she made like at least $300 a year on her podcast alone, and I was like, that's what I need to do next. Like, I need a podcast.
I saw how much someone made and thought, that's what I need to do. Wow, what a passionate and inspiring individual. Toward the start of her career, Bobbi joked, not more money though, and that's all that matters in the world, but it seems that's now her actual philosophy.
I didn't grow up with money. I am on a lifelong journey to get money. I love
money's nice.
It's amazing.
Ever since doing the interview, Bobbi's viewership has significantly slowed. Her reputation is far from perfect, whilst her interview style has simply gone stale.
She made so many mistakes. I never seen these interviews. I never followed the woman. So I don't know if her marriage was put out in the forefront like that. You get what I'm saying? I think people probably, because she got so big, they found her husband and it was like, why are you asking these questions? And you have a whole husband at the house, you know? Me personally, like I told you before, I would not do that type of commentary, or I wouldn't play like that because I have too much respect for my significant other. Even though my boyfriend, he probably wouldn't give a damn. Because he's a content creator himself and he's like, I get it. I don't give a damn. Me personally, I would feel some type of way. You know, I have too much respect when it comes to my significant other. Not saying that she doesn't. Let's clear that up, okay? Not saying that she doesn't have respect for her significant other. I'm not saying that. I'm saying for me personally, I wouldn't feel right doing it, you know? But that doesn't mean everybody else don't have that same, you get what I'm saying? And it's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with that at all. As long as you and your partner have agreed that, okay, this is what you're doing just for content purposes, I don't see nothing wrong with whatever y'all want to do in your relationship or whatever y'all condone. I don't give a damn, to be honest. But for me personally, I'm speaking on me, I wouldn't feel comfortable doing it. So I was just basically talking about that specific thing. But then it got deeper. Okay? And they saying that she was rude to her guests and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, well, if she started getting rude, I could see how that could be a turnoff when it comes to some people, you know? And then what put the nail in the coffin is when she got on the podcast and said, or interview, and said that she did this because she saw somebody else make a lot of money doing it, or a certain amount of money doing it, and how she loves money so much. That turns everybody completely off, probably. Because now you don't have a passion for what you're doing. You're just doing it for $1. And what people don't like is when you do something or you hop on something and when you don't have a passion for it and you're money hungry. You're only doing everything for just money and $1 to your name. But that's all I got to say about this video, guys. Leave your comments down below and let me know what you think about this situation. What do you think about Bobbi? Do you like her? Do you still like her? Or do you don't like her? Or have you ever liked her to begin with? Leave your comments down below and let me know. Happy Friday, guys. I will see you guys in the next video. And remember, don't worry about failure. You only have to be right once. Peace.
Kinetics with the fucking plug.